Your name has been bandied about for James Bond. Have you had any conversations with the Broccoli family that you'd care to share?
I spoke to Barbara this morning, that's so weird, about something else, by the way. This is how things go south. I should not have said that.
Welcome to Couch Surfing, the show where regal guests look back at their big roles, their little roles, and everything in between. I'm here with David Oyelowo. David!
Hi.
I'm so excited to have you.
It's so great to be here on this very comfy couch.
You ready?
Okay, let's do it.
All right.
Let me be umpire in this doubtful strife.
So long before your amazing film career, you were a stage actor.
Gosh, I haven't seen that in 18 years. Wow. Ooh, yes. I started in the theater.
And you were the first black actor to play an English king for the Royal Shakespeare Company. Congratulations, my friend. Talk about groundbreaking work.
I had 7 lines in Antony and Cleopatra, and I was on my way in to do that show. And I got the call from my agent saying, they want to see you for Henry VI. I said, oh, great, which part in Henry VI? And the line got all crinkly, and I said, no, which part? He said, Henry VI. I said, yeah, I know, but which part? Lo and behold, it was for Henry VI. And then I got it, and I didn't realize I was the first black actor to be afforded that opportunity until after the fact.
And you had to speak about it a lot in the press, which I imagine was both a bit of a gift and a bit of a curse.
I found myself every lunch break during rehearsals fielding avalanches of journalists who wanted to talk about this. And about 3 weeks in, I just had to put the kibosh on it and say, look, I've just got to focus on the work. And one of the things I'm very, very proud of is that it opened the doors for several other actors who have now done it without anyone batting an eyelid. And, you know, that is something I didn't anticipate, but it's something I'm very proud of.
I love it. All right, up next. You ready?
Okay.
This scene is so heartbreaking. I mean,
My wife.
Is it true you improvised that line?
Yeah, I did. I just thought, if I had a gun to my head, what would be the thought that would rush through my head? And, you know, my wife is someone who, gosh, I'm prayerful and hopeful I get to spend every single second of the remainder of my life in her presence.
That's so romantic. You have to show her this clip and just play it for her. Your next fight, you just play this clip for her. You're right out of the doghouse.
It'll be romantic as I'm saying my wife, and then not so romantic as I'm immediately shot in the head. So
cut right before that part.
Yeah, bittersweet. I'll preface it by saying, this is going to be bittersweet, baby. I'm just going to show you something that shows you how much I love you.
You know, this film obviously did wonders for Forest Whitaker's career. It was incredibly well received. Did you expect a movie about an African dictator to be so widely embraced?
None of us
Okay.
did. I can't even tell you how different the experience of shooting the film was to the reception of the film. Forrest stayed in character the whole time.
I read that. What was that like, interacting with a crazed African dictator every day?
It was a nightmare. Sorry, Forrest. It was a nightmare. I remember being in the hotel in Uganda, seeing him, and he was walking towards me, and I said, oh, hi, Forrest, and he went, literally, that was the sound he made. I went, that's the last time I'm speaking to you for the entire there's no way. But, you know, you watch the performance and you go, it was worth it.
All right, up next.
I was lucky. Knocked out by the first blast.
So that's you.
That's me. It's always been my ambition to play a white ginger guy.
Well, there you go. But being a part of the Star Wars universe is a huge moment for a lot of people.
Yeah.
What's it been like for you?
Well,
what did it mean to you?
You know what? There are so many films I've done that my kids couldn't care less about. So to have something that they go, Dad, that is so cool, is everything. Because I have to admit to not being the biggest Star Wars fan.
Okay.
But the weird thing that happened during Star Wars Rebels was that my character took this kind of unexpected evolution where he went from being this guy to what became popularly known as hot callus.
Hot callus?
Yeah, so they kind of let his hair down a little bit more, and he grew out the sideburns a bit. And I think I was just a perpetual disappointment when the fans would meet me, and they'd go, "Oh my God, this guy's hot callus," and I go, "Hi, I'm David Oyelowo, and I'm hot callus, I guess."
Welcome back to Couchsurfing. I'm still here with David Oyelowo. David, shall we continue?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
We will take their power. We will win what you were slaughtered for.
This is a master class in acting.
Thank
Really.
you.
I mean, just bravo.
The day we were shooting this, John Lewis, you know, the amazing John Lewis, who was a very close friend of Dr. King, came to visit the set.
Oh my goodness.
And I thought he was just passing through. It was like an amazing thing. He saw me because I'd put on the weight and I was dressed as King, and he went, "Hi, Dr. King. It's so nice to see you again." And I was in a mess. I didn't know whether to stay in character or be David or whatever. But then he decided to stay.
No.
And he literally put himself in the front row, asked Ava, "Do you mind, Ava DuVernay, our director, you mind if David's going to do a speech as Dr. King?" Well, I was there. Can I stay? I was like, what? And literally Ava goes, "Okay, everyone, quiet down," and roll sound. And just before she says action, all the lights go out. And a thunderstorm was coming over. And whenever there's a thunderstorm, they have to cut off the generators in case lightning hits the generator, and it can be dangerous. So literally we had to stop and wait for this thunderstorm to pass, and we had to wait an hour before that would happen, and he had to leave. I was like, Jesus loves me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. Thankfully, you know, what you just saw there happened after the thunderstorm had passed without John Lewis there.
Up next.
If you think I've come all this way only to turn back empty-handed, you are unimaginably naive.
Okay, so like Selma, you stayed in character for most of this shoot. Why are you laughing? Do you see what's happening on the screen right now?
Can you not see why I didn't want this around my children? Look at this guy. From the relaxed hair to the, can you imagine me and my wife loves me, but I don't think she'd want this guy in the house.
What made you want to play this man?
Because the script came in and it was 85 pages of one guy.
That's right. It's all you.
It's all
on
me.
these shoulders.
It was funny, even though I make fun of the Forrest Whitaker situation, in doing Last King of Scotland with him and doing Lincoln with Daniel Day-Lewis, two great actors who I got to have a front row seat to them fully immersing themselves in their characters, it sort of gave me the playbook as to how to do that.
And the license to do it as well.
That's a very, very good point, because to be honest, before then I thought, a little bit pretentious, a little bit selfish, but you can't deny the results. And so when it came to both Selma and Nightingale, I chose to follow those great actors' example and stay in it the whole time. And you know, what it does is it just means you never second guess your choices as the character.
All right, up next.
Chess is not gambling. It is a game of kings and queens. It teaches discipline and mental strength.
Work also teaches these things.
But Nyabo, this is a chance for
You
them
and
to
the
visit
lovely Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah.
Well, how can I pay school fees?
No need for that now.
I love how committed you are to choosing projects that represent Africa in the best light.
I get a lot of scripts that don't represent us in the best light. And look, Africa is not a perfect continent. It is a continent with a lot of challenges, but it also has chess champions.
Or award-winning actors.
Right.
Yes.
It has a couple of those as well.
Up next.
Rego.
Okay, so this film has been described as a psychological time-traveling crime drama. How was it pitched to you?
The way it came across to me when I read it was it's just an unconventional love story between an uncle and his niece. And what I mean by that is, you know, love has various forms.
That's true.
And I just love the fact that with this film, I got to express what I certainly feel towards my own children.
Yes.
In terms of being prepared to do anything to keep them from harm. But when you see it through the gaze of an uncle towards his niece, it also does that thing that I deeply believe in, which is that love is sacrificial. You know, an uncle who has that kind of love for his niece, that's a choice.
Yes.
That's not a given,
That's
the way it
true.
is for a father and his children.
And it premiered at Sundance, and then it was tweaked a bit before it was released wide. How did it change from the version at Sundance to what we see now?
Well, you know, even at Sundance, it was called Relive,
Okay.
as opposed to being called Don't Let Go. The Sundance version was more tied to the sci-fi of it all.
Okay.
And we realized that the beating heart of this movie is that relationship between the uncle and niece. And so we skewed it more towards being an emotional film as opposed to more intellectual.
David, thank you so much for surfing by. You were awesome.
Thank you.
And you can catch David and Storm Reed in the new Blumhouse thriller, Don't Let Go. Check it out. See you next week on Couchsurfing. Bye.